Hello, Boone County Judge Executive Gary Moore here with you today. And I'm talking with Rob Franxman, our Boone County engineer and Director of Public Works. Rob has now been with us about 6 months. He was with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet for around 20 years. And we're very blessed, very fortunate to have Rob as our county engineer. He's so knowledgeable about the projects and the region and the area, being a Northern Kentuckian lifelong. So Rob, welcome. And today let's talk a little bit about some of the other projects. You know, all the focus seems to be on the major state and federal projects like the rebuild of the Richwood interchange and the rebuild of the Mount Zion interchange and the new Graves Road interchange under construction. And then there's the widening of Pleasant Valley, the widening of Mount Zion, and other big projects. But we've got a lot of other things going on with our county infrastructure. And one that comes to mind is right here in Burlington with the Burlington Commons project and the new signals that'll be on each side of it. So tell us a little bit about Burlington.
That's right, Judge, and thanks. I'm very happy to be here in Boone County myself. I mean, it's great. I'm glad to be on board, and all those state projects you mentioned, I've kind of had my hands in a bit of all those at one time or another as well. So hopefully you don't hold that against me too much. But yeah, the signals here in Burlington, both of them being on Kentucky 18, Burlington Pike there, one of them being at Rogers Lane and the other being there at East Bend Road. That's actually a design build project where we basically just put out an idea to a set of consultants and contractors and said, hey, we'd like a signal to be here at each of these locations. Can you design it for us? And then as soon as you're done designing it, go ahead and build it. So we went through the procurement process and did make an award to Banzel Construction Company and Palmer Engineering as the design firm, and awarded that about 2 months ago. And right now they just got final approvals on all the plans and everything and are beginning to procure materials, and we're hopeful to hit the completion date of middle of November this year for those signals to be complete. They are a more decorative type of a mast arm, so there's no wiring to hang the signals on. They hang off of a black arm. And then all the pedestrian signals will be black and finish and a more decorative type as well.
So kind of adding to our historic Burlington feel. And one of those that you're talking about is going to replace the current four-way stop right there at the corner of the Burlington intersection.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. That four-way stop will become completely signalized then at that point as well.
All right, so changing gears, no pun intended, but going down to the Long Branch Road near Camp Ernst Road corner, close to the Cooper High School campus.
Right.
Tell us about those projects down there.
So Regular Blacktop is the contractor down there, and we actually got that project underway at the end of last year, and then of course went through a bit of a winter shutdown and also some significant utility relocations through the winter and the spring. Duke Energy had some gas line improvements and relocations that had to occur for the road to be completed. So we kind of got through that, and Regular is back mobilized, and they actually, I'm pleased to report, have all of the base paving down and all of the widening complete. So right now they're going through the final restoration process, getting prepared for seed, and also the multi-use path that goes along with the portion of the project there. So really looking forward to probably in the next 3 weeks to a month that it's the real latest to have that wrapped up and done.
Now, coming on the heels of that, it's a separate project a little far in the future, is on the Camp Ernst side of that intersection. There's going to be a left turn lane as you go south on Camp Ernst into Long Branch, right?
That's correct. That's in the design phase right now. We're to the point where we've got everything for the most part complete design wise, and we're entering the right of way phase where we go and purchase the property from folks. I think there's 4 parcels that we need to deal with there. So we really hope to, by the end of this calendar year, be pushing that out to construction as well. So one of those things that everybody always says, right? You finish one project and then it looks like it's right back under construction, and it kind of will, because things won't necessarily overlap, but it definitely overlaps that area. But again, it's great for that area in general, and should help quite a bit safety wise with that intersection as well. So.
Absolutely. We got sidewalk projects, it seems like everywhere. The one that I've been paying attention to lately is along Litton Lane, from 237 back to all the businesses there. Unfortunately, there's been a fatality or two on Litton Lane with pedestrians through the years, and much needed project for safety, but that one's moving along quickly.
Yes, it is. I'm actually pleased to report that I believe today they made their last concrete pour, and it actually was a small piece of a correction that needed to be done. So they had actually been wrapped up middle of last week, and we had them go back and make one correction to some things, and final restoration is underway. And again, we kind of hope that they might move out of there as quick as the end of this week, if not sometime through middle of next week at the latest, we think. So yeah, I mean, that sidewalk extends all the way from 237 all the way back to essentially the last business that's back there. So that'll be great. There's really nowhere for buses to turn around back there. So folks who work in those establishments that take a bus to work have had to walk along the side of the road there for years and years. So this is a very important safety project in that area.
Great. When we're talking about safety, something that we've had some success with is the high friction surface, the high friction asphalt in some really dangerous curves. It's worked well down on Camp Ernst Road, down near Gunpowder Creek in that really bad curve. So now the fiscal court has approved 2 more major curves for this high friction surface. Tell us about those 2.
So those 2 locations are Beeman Lane and Conrad Lane. As you're approaching Conrad, once you turn off at 237, there's really an S curve there, two significant curves. And if you pay a lot of attention, there's quite often damaged guardrail and signs down along those curves. So particularly in wet conditions, people really generally, it seems like you can drive faster through the curves than you really can, and it causes you to lose some control. So this is a bauxite aggregate that essentially gets glued to the pavement, and it's highly angular. So it creates a lot of friction with your wheels and really keeps you stuck to the road. And like you said, we've had great success on Camp Ernst with that, going back to 2019, and have basically eliminated an accident history on Camp Ernst. And the second location is Beeman Lane, and anybody who's been through there has seen that huge 90-degree curve there. And I think we've all probably been through it a time or two when a fence has been down, or I think the barn has gotten hit several times. So again, that should solve that problem there. We're really hopeful of that. And if weather allows us, we think that we'll get a lot of that project done this week. Their on-site material is here, and we're moving forward fast with that. So that's great.
Wow, that's great news. Well, I know we try to keep these things fairly short. When you and I get together, we could talk hours about everything going on. And of course, there's things besides roads. There's the sewer project that's replacing a lot of antiquated septic tanks up on Evergreen Drive and up off of Weaver. Many other things going on in the county, but I think we're out of time for today. But Rob, thank you for joining our team. We're so excited you're here, and you're doing an awesome job. And we'll continue to have these conversations where we can dig a little deeper.
Well,
thank you.
Thank you very much, Judge. I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm happy to be here.
All right.